guys, it's Christy. I wanted to talk to you today because, as you know, I am a whole health and wellness transformational coach. As a coach, I try to help you change your life. I want to help you change your lifestyle, if that's what you want, change your eating habits, change your exercise habits, learn to love exercise, learn to love water, learn to love healthy food. And I use Faster EFT and NLP to help you achieve those goals. One of the things that people come to me to talk about and see if they can get rid of are addictions. And they can be addictions to anything. Addictions to chocolate, caffeine, cola, diet cola, Dr. Pepper, chips and hot sauce, apple pie, whatever it is. And believe me, I've seen a lot of it. Ice cream. Did anybody say ice cream? Anyway, those are the things that people actually come to me and want help with. And I've actually battled quite a few addictions. I have mentioned in a blog post before an addiction to Nutella that I had. I've been a hardcore caffeine addicted person. I've actually struggled with alcohol before, and definitely sugar. And over the years, I have used Faster EFT and NLP and other healing modalities, mindset shifts, law of attraction, things like that, to help me change my attitudes and my feelings towards the items that I was addicted to. And one of the most important things that I've discovered over the years has been simply that, you know what? You don't have to tap. You don't have to tap. You don't have to use NLP, word ninja, mind Jedi tricks. You don't have to do any of those things. It doesn't have to be hard. In fact, one of the easiest ways that I've found to get rid of an addiction or a craving, or something that you're doing habitually that you no longer want to do, something that no longer serves you, is to crowd it out. And you may not have heard of this phrase before, crowding it out. But what it is when you've identified something that's no longer working for you, something that isn't serving you, and you want to eliminate it. The first thing we do as humans is go, okay, I'm never going to do that anymore. And then we fail. Because the first day comes and then you crave it. Or you go through your normal everyday habits or experiences, and I don't know, your boss triggers you, or your husband says something, or your wife says something, or your boyfriend leaves you, or whatever it is. And before you know it, you've fallen right back into the trap. And I think it's very important to realize that it's okay. It's okay, right? The fact that you've done what you've done is okay. The fact that you got triggered is perfectly fine. The fact that you went and did what you said you weren't going to do is perfectly fine. Here in my coaching practice, I really emphasize small baby steps, things that are small, incremental, things that you can do every day, reliably, 100% without fail. And eliminating something huge out of your diet or your lifestyle or your way of being or your way of life in one fell swoop is just super difficult, right? And so crowding out. Crowding out is where we find something that we enjoy just as much, maybe even more, and use it as a replacement, something that's healthful, something that's beneficial. I'll give you an example. I was working with a naturopath for some health issues that I was experiencing. And obviously we did the normal rounds of blood work and everything. And one of her number one suggestions to me was cut the caffeine. Okay, I think as I said a minute ago, I have been and can be a huge caffeine addict. Where, I can't go through a day without caffeine. And so I got major resistance the moment that came up. It's like, what? Whoa, hold the train, buddy. I need my caffeine. I have to have my caffeine. And I know I've covered caffeine and faster EFT before, because the last time I kicked caffeine, I kicked it using just tapping. But eventually I actually went back. It was a conscious choice, not that I had an addiction or fell back into it. I was like, yes, I want this. I'm going to have this. And so I did. And again, nothing wrong with that. But now I've had a doctor suggest to me that I need to cut back on caffeine. And again, lots of resistance. So using this concept of crowding out, I decided, okay, maybe I could start with a half calf. That might not be too bad. And so that's what I started doing. Started doing a half calf. Half caffeine, half decaf coffee. Because I had already cut out most caffeinated sodas and beverages and that kind of thing. So, but then the next step, of course, would be to back it down further. The goal being to be caffeine free. So, but the point is that I found, it wasn't just that I went half calf. I actually found a coffee that I liked better than a decaffeinated coffee, that I liked better than my caffeinated version. I found something that was tastier than what I'd currently been doing. And so because it's not just the caffeine, right? It's the warmth, it's the creaminess. If you're, putting creamer in your coffee or doing a bulletproof coffee or whatever it is you're doing. And the same thing can work for any type of beverage. In fact, when I was trying to get off of, I had I wouldn't call it an addiction, but to Pepsi Max. It's one of the better tasting, if that's, a thing, better tasting diet drinks. And I actually kind of liked it. But when I decided I was going to give that up, it would have been senseless to decide and replace that with, nothing, or with water, because that's not really what I was wanting. That's not the reason why I was drinking it. And so I started, trying to find products that would fit the bill. And I actually found a mineral water that tastes like coconut. And I liked that. I liked that a lot. And once I crowded out my Pepsi Max with this coconut flavored mineral water, then I'd achieved what I wanted without much pain, without much effort. And so today I'd like to invite you. You don't have to tap on whatever it is you don't want to. You don't have to tap on your addictions. You don't have to tap on your cravings. I'd just like to invite you to open your mind and think of something that you think you might like. Something that could be a replacement. If you're trying to get away from coffee, maybe you like tea. If you're trying to give up beer, maybe you'd like a non-alcoholic beer. If you want to give up beer altogether, maybe something that you don't normally drink, like a ginger ale. Or again, a mineral water, something bubbly. So my point here is that it doesn't always have to be about tapping. There actually are healthful replacements for things that you can easily do and embrace that don't require tapping, right? And don't get me wrong, faster EFT, NLP, tapping, all of those tools are awesome tools to have in your toolbox, and you should use them. But just like anything, you wouldn't use a hammer to screw in a screw. Although I have used a shoe to hammer in a nail. So your mileage may vary. So just think about that. And if you have any questions or need any ideas, I'd love to hear from you. I love this idea of crowding out. It's worked really well for me, and I'm thinking it might for you too. Again, my name is Christy. and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye. No, 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 no. And I thought this was going to be easy.